Hey guys, Grant Hubbard here. I got Chuck Mitchell, owner of TX Gutter Solutions out there in Texas. Thanks for being with me today.
I appreciate you having me, Grant.
Man, I'm excited to get to know a little bit more. Me and you've been having some different phone calls just sporadically. And then, we were working alongside each other in different companies right there in the Austin, San Antonio area. So I know you were a veteran and some other things. So I'm really curious. We haven't had that conversation just to get a little bit to know more about your back end history. And then we'll kind of come around to how you guys started gutters and lighting. So, yeah, tell me a little bit, man. You were in the service. What came first, the service, and then you had a different career, or the career?
Yeah. I lost the football scholarship pretty quickly, and whenever I went home, I had to figure out where I was going to go in life, and decided to go into the Air Force. It was a great thing for me. I spent 6 years in the Air Force. Wouldn't be where I'm at today without it. I was actually a weatherman in the Air Force.
Oh, really?
So. Took a lot of school. I actually have a degree in meteorology.
Okay.
So I know way too much about the weather, and I pay way too much attention to it. But I did. I liked it. I enjoyed it. When I got out of the military, the first thing I did was get a real estate license. And I was a realtor / land broker for a couple years. And then I was recruited into the manufactured home industry. So for 15 years, I was the general manager or sales manager of multiple different manufactured home dealerships. Worked 7 days a week. I was very fat, unhealthy, making a ton of money and thinking that's what life was about. But always wanted to get out of that stressful environment. So I did eventually move into site built. I was a vice president for a couple of different home builders. Again, still working weekends. So right around COVID, really for the first time in my life, I put my resume on like Indeed or something. I got a bunch of job offers, but I was hired by a company called Permapeer Foundation Repair, and they do foundation repair in all over Texas, but they're out of DFW. They do a lot of work up there, but I was the vice president for Austin and San Antonio. So and I was hired a week before COVID started, and I was with them all the way up until not this past October, but the October before that. So about 4 years roughly of taking evaluations and taking elevations on different structures. Right. And so most of the time, the first couple years I was in that business, all I did was commercial and builder. So commercial being an apartment, strip mall, and builder being a home that has a warranty on it. So in the last 5 years here in Texas, we've actually had two separate droughts, right? The first drought was, we were in the middle of it when I started in foundation.
Horrible. It was horrible.
And the phone was ringing like crazy at the foundation repair company. Well, I just kind of thought that's how it always was. About 3 years ago, we had a fall that had a month and a half of rain, right? And when that happened, the phones at the foundation repair stopped completely. We weren't getting any leads. And so they actually let two of the retail salespeople go. And the retail meaning the only customers they would go talk to is homeowners whose homes is older than 10 years. So they don't have a going to help them. No insurance helps them. Their home moved. They got to pay for it, right? Well, when the retail salespeople left, my boss said, hey, you got to go start seeing those customers. So now I'm walking up to homes. Most of the time, like 90% of the time, there's a sold sign in the yard. The owner has it sold. They didn't ask for the foundation repair company to come out. The buyer was told by an inspector that they saw some cracks and they need to have the home inspected. So I show up to kill a deal most of the time, right? To whack some equity, right? To see some people cry, right? And so when I started becoming a retail and starting seeing retail customers, I got extremely bitter, not with Permapeer, but with really Central Texas's soil, its weather, and then the builders, man, the fact that they are building them as fast as they can, and they're only worried about the grade around the home so that they can pass inspection. They're not taking into account that the grading on the neighbor's home is now affecting the grading on that home, right? Because they're close together. They're not educating the homeowners on how to maintain the soil around their home and how important it is. And there's no gutters on them, right? And so the water is coming directly off of these roofs, pounding the soil beside the home. And this soil in Texas is highly expansive, has a lot of clay in it. And so when it gets wet, it swells up. I tell everybody it's just the sponge analogy, right? If you had a sponge on the counter and every day you came home, you had a little dropper and you could put the same amount of water in it every single day, that sponge would stay the same thickness. But when we get a lot of rain, that sponge swells up, and then we go through 6 months with no rain.
Right.
Sponge will actually shrink smaller than what it was before. That creates space and homes start to move, right? I believe that homeowners can fight it. I don't tell anybody that gutters are going to protect your home from moving. That would be a lie, right? However, it's science that it absolutely will help it, right? And so what I tell people, especially if they live east of 35 and the worst soil, is you need gutters around your home that collects the water that Mother Nature wanted spread equally. Now hits your roof. It's concentrated in the valleys and comes down and sits beside your home. And then there's some areas where no water comes off of your roof, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it'd be drier. That unevenness is what causes the problem. So downspouts to get the water away from your foundation, a soaker hose to keep that soil, keep moisture in that soil whenever we're not getting rain, right?
Yeah.
Soil to fill in all the cracks and to keep water from getting underneath your slab or your foundation, your sidewalks and your driveway. And then the last one is get elevations taken. And that's something that we do different than everybody else. Is I will do free elevations for anybody anytime. They don't even have to get gutters with us. They don't have to get an estimate. I don't sell foundation repair anymore. So when we get done, it's not sales, but I am passionate about it. That's why I own a gutter company, is because I bought my first home at 19. And with the way the world's going, the only shot at generational wealth is to own your house, right? And it was a big blessing for me to buy at 19, and I've owned ever since. And I ain't got some huge 401k, but I do own my house, man. And I think that all those people that bought those houses and made their payments and put the sign in the yard and got it sold, for them to have the rug snatched out from underneath them right at closing time when they thought they were going to get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in equity, is heartbreaking. It is something to be passionate about and get out there, educate homeowners and put some gutters on homes, because, they deserve that equity. They should have been educated up front, right?
Yeah.
The soil a little better. So. That is
one thing that you mentioned, and I saw it's probably been, man, I'd say it's probably been about 10 years, maybe 8 years ago. Something to your point that I really love, and I'd love to recreate this video and use it for educational. So imagine like you go to the park, right, and they have those big just pavilions, right, and typically they're just gabled, and then they have poured concrete underneath, or there's concrete everywhere, blah blah blah. So this video had essentially a guy in his yard, he had some land, built essentially one of those, but he did different valleys, and he did about the size of a house, right? Maybe 1,800 squares to 2,200 square feet, and just put columns in, and he didn't roof it. He just did like a cheap metal roof. But the whole point was to show, and no concrete underneath. And he did this time-lapse video like over 3 years. You could imagine with those different holes
Right.
and areas, what he put like 3 or 4 different inside valleys and then like a little dormer thing or whatever. And you could see what was happening to this basically this yard over all this time, right? And that's identical to what's happening. And then you put, in Texas, there's no basements, but obviously in lots of other states, there's a ton of basements. And so just to your point, that's awesome that you are a weatherman. I want to come back to that real quick because one thing I've always prided, I'm not a weatherman, but I love the weather. I can fall asleep to Jim Cantori or whatever for like the last 20 years. Like that's my go to bed. I put on the Weather Channel or like something about oceans or something. But I've always been really good at understanding. And I think, do you have an edge, and maybe not necessarily you, but do you think that people that are really paying attention to the weather and trends and maybe even knowing when your seasonalities are, when the rain's going to come, you could position yourself to be, it's better at your marketing. You're like, oh, let's put some more money in this rainy seasons. And obviously the city and state matter and things like that.
So yes, I think that's a fine line, right? So I'm not a big fan of digging too much into stuff I can't control, right? Because then it'll start weighing me down.
Yeah.
Poor results are because of an outside factor when I need to just be focused on what I can. But yes, what you're saying is absolutely true. Most of our success comes through Facebook ads and posting our videos. And yes, I do watch the forecast. If rain is coming, I will spend more money. And when rain is falling, I will spend more money. And, it just makes sense, right? Because that's when they're walking in and out of their house. They're thinking about it. If they open up Facebook, they're going to see it. So I do believe that all gutter companies, owners, especially the marketers, like you're saying, should have an idea of what's going on with the weather, right? And should turn.
If anything, it'll at least make for a better scheduler, right?
You got it.
That's where it matters, when you actually know if it's going to rain or not.
Yeah, you guys in Florida definitely have to do that. Y'all are worried about rain days out there.
Man, you know what? Like different strokes for different folks, but most of the OGs that I mess with all around the country, man, we're not worried about those hot days. The guys up there are not worried about the cold days. I know here in Florida, like it's just water, man.
Yeah.
The drill is 200 or 300. So you got these guys that are like, I'm not getting my drill wet.
How do you get the ceiling in there, right?
Oh yeah. So it rains so on and off all day, every day here in Florida. It's like you just get used to it.
Right.
Okay, let's come around. Hey, tell the viewers how they can go. I mean, you guys have some of my absolute favorite social media. Now you've calmed down a bit. Maybe you were so busy doing the lighting. I'll come back to that. But 2 years ago and the beginning of most of all last year, man, you guys had some absolutely viral ads going out on Facebook.
So we still do them, and I don't post as much on our actual Facebook page as probably I should. But a lot of videos are sent out through Ad Manager, right? Leads, right?
Yep.
And I can always put that video right on the page too. And I add some videos on the page. I definitely need to spend more time.
Where do they go see you at? It's TX Gutter Solutions on Facebook.
Correct. TX Gutter Solutions on Facebook.
And you guys go check out. Go back a bit. I'm not saying the ones you got recently aren't good, but trust me, it's well worth it. Go back a bit on their page. You're going to see some absolutely epic Facebook ad videos from these guys.
I appreciate that. And that is like, as an owner, that is.
You guys kill it, man. I'm just replaying a couple of them in my head right now, dude. I'm just like dying. So that's you and who's in the videos with you again?
Trent, my brother.
Yeah, Trent. Yeah, your brother's in the videos, man. You guys kill it, dude.
Yeah, he's
We're gonna put one up. Let's put one up right here for a minute, Ange. We'll come and she'll insert one in there. You guys see
there's a ton of them. Yeah,
so good. They'll put it in the edit, and they'll play it up there.
Perfect.
So, what inspired that idea? What was it like?
So I knew we had to do some advertising on Facebook, and we had tried some still pictures. We had tried some, basic videos, no real return, right? Well, on July 3rd, not this year, but last year, I get a call from a guy that I had been trying to close. And he says, hey, I want my gutters up tomorrow. And it was July 4th, right? But it was supposed to rain July 4th. Yeah. I was like, and we were new and like trying to, fill every day. I was like, we'll do it. Right?
Yeah. Of course.
So I went, my brother went, my kids went, and the crew. And so we were like 8 deep at this guy's house, and it was a 1-story, 1,800 square feet.
Yeah, banger.
We just slammed it, right? And it got to the point to where, my brother, me, and the kids are just kind of standing around because it's just button it up time, right? So we start shooting the video. My brother starts acting goofy, and man, these seem pretty good. And I get home and I start messing around with CapCut, and I'm like, that's kind of the day where I figured out, is like, you don't really have to stress or script or like word for it. Just the good ones don't ever work out that way, right? You just got to video a lot, right? And then you got to chop it up and put it together. And that day was really the day when it all started. It was like, it's a pretty simple structure. It's like something funny to get their attention, then the nuts and bolts, and then a call to action. Close to a minute as you can keep it, right? And I've learned a lot, through watching others. There is a landscaping company that is like, you should go check them out. I'll send you their name. It's kind of hard. It's like or Applewood Landscaping is what it is, but I'll send you the link to his thing, because the videos that they're doing, it makes ours look like not funny because they're so awesome. They're so awesome. And I actually messaged the owner and told him, what I thought. I thought it was really, really smart, really wise. He does a lot of things on there that I think you'll get a lot of value out of. I mean, he talks about the prices of his projects, like very openly, right? Which I really think is great. And I think you'll get a lot out of it too. You'll see what I'm talking about when I see it.
All right. What's your guys' direction right now? I know you just came out of lighting season. Again, I'm going to bring that up. But gutter wise only, this is coming into your 3rd year, I believe?
Correct.
What's your guys' direction you're going to take right now?
So we currently have a trailer and crew in Austin, a trailer and crew in San Antonio. They last year stayed busy every day, and that is the goal, right? Like when I started a company, I didn't know what was going to be the biggest stress factor, but to this day, and I don't think it's ever going to change, it's when you find good people, keeping them fed and paid, right? And so when it comes to sales, that's the biggest pressure. Is I got to keep the pipeline full so those guys are hanging every day, right? And but we have reached a point where we're about to purchase another setup and put it on the west side of San Antonio, because we're getting to the point to where that side is going to be able to handle and stay busy. So
Alamo Ranch area.
Yeah. I have a good buddy of mine that has been in the foundation repair business for a lot of years, and is ready to take it by the horn. So he'll be a manager of that trailer. And, we've got some pretty good processes that we don't need a lot of back end help, right? We've made things very seamless to where it's like, okay, well, here, just put the order in, they'll have it ready, keep it rolling, go sell another one, right? And but it's going to be fine tuning our processes. We have a sales brochure that should be finalized here in the next few days, and very excited about that. Something we'll be able to leave in their hands, that just highlights, who we are and what I think makes us different, and that we are, driven by processes, right? And doing the next step the same way every single time. So I do want to learn, and we can have the talk about the hand tabs offline, right? But that is a big goal of ours. I do see value in it, but for right now, and what we've done all along is, it's 6-inch K style, 5-inch K style. 5-inch comes with 2x3, 6-inch comes with 3x4. We pick a better hanger, right? And dude, we ask for callbacks. Like what I mean by that is, I'm not like hanging them, sending a invoice without talking to them and hoping they pay it, right? And
they give them different
high-fiving when they pay. No. I'm reaching out saying, hey, is there anything that needs our attention? And I'm always letting them know that you got something wrong. I need to know, because I believe the only way to get a cost of lead down is to build a reputation, right? And that's beautiful about this business, especially the lights. They do it more than the gutters, right? If you start taking care of people, you got billboards everywhere, right? As long as they're beaming happy, your cost of lead will go down because the referrals will pick up. So
those referrals are so good. You're running mostly San Antonio side, right? And then your business partner, Brett, he runs the Austin side.
From about Kyle, about where we split it. So he handles down to Kyle and I handle south.
And you guys did lights in both cities as well, in both regions. Okay, let's dive into the lights. So tell us tell everybody what you're doing with the lights. And you guys shared a lot of that on your videos as well too. But like, how did that first come about? Because you're in permanent lighting, not Christmas holiday lighting.
It was you, man.
You're year-round, correct?
Yeah, and I don't know if it was. I mean, we've only talked on the phone like 2 or 3 times, but they've all been great. I mean, I got a drip edge roller that's fantastic.
Oh, you're talking about me. Yeah.
No
drip edge rollers.
It may have been a video or a Facebook post, but it was 2 years ago. Somebody, and I'm pretty sure it was you, had said, you got to get into Christmas lights. That's how you get through those years, right? And we looked at doing the hang them up and take them down, and with us being process, I wasn't confident I could write a seamless process for that, right?
Yeah,
I knew I could to install the permanent lights, and so we dove into it, and it has been, we do them year round. I mean, obviously the busy season's great, but because we do gutters, every single gutter estimate is getting a permanent light estimate, even if they don't ask for it, right? It's like, hey, you can throw it away, guys. You can give it to your neighbor and tell them, hey, these things are cool. If you want, I don't care, but you're going to get it. I'm not going to pressure you, but you're going to have the information, right? And so we all get it, and we give a big discount, lower than a regular light.
Double up, right?
Yeah, right. I'm going to cut my margin for both of them, so I get both the same day, and then the crew's not driving off to go install another gutter job. They're sitting at the same job all day long. So it's a win-win. You're doing the Govee, you said? No, it's Bosa.
Bosa. And
we started with jellyfish, and it's a great product. A couple things we didn't like about how they're installed, and our margin was pretty low because it's an expensive product. But when Bosa came out, their prices, the tracks work great, they install great. We've done a lot, and we just don't get callbacks. We got happy customers, so I'm happy with both. So they're fairly new, so they had some struggles during the busy season, right? And we've got to overcome their struggles. We got really aggressive on ordering, and so I've got a warehouse, with a overstock storage special going on right now, right, to get rid of these lights. But I learned a ton. Next year we're going to be able to go in, because we definitely missed out on business. I had to cut back advertising for lights in mid to late November because I had already booked all the crews up until December 23rd, right? And that's the big challenge. The big goal this year is, I know I can go find good people if I got work. Right. If I got to work, I can go find them. I'm not scared of that.
There's lots of people wanting work. Yeah, there's lots of people.
But I can't go find people unless I know for sure I can keep them busy. Because I'm not the guy that's like, yeah, man, I got you busy, gonna pay all your bills, your family.
3 months later, you let them go.
Yeah, I can't keep them busy, right? Like that is what keeps me awake more than anything, right? Is being able to hold true to my word of everybody that I hire. Right. So, but that makes the Christmas lights tough, right? Because when you come around to that time of season, you know that you need another 2. I mean, I could have used 2 other crews and sold a lot more this year, but I would have had crews that said, come January going, I don't know, guys, I don't really got it for you until next Christmas season. So that'll be the challenge that we work through this year to make sure we're better prepared, and we'll be a little bit more ahead on our inventory so that we're ready to roll. And man, I really think, and this is for everybody that's in the permanent Christmas lights, is, if you installed them last year, you better buy a ton of the lights that you install so that you can service what you installed, right? And the reason why I say that is I feel like it's going to be very similar to all technology, right? It's going to change rapidly. There'll be new players come in. There'll be new products come in, and it's just not going to look the same as it does right now. What I call the infant stage of this, right? Like everything's going to change, right? So we did buy a bunch of lights so that if one goes out, we're able to service them in the future, because I do think that there will be a change this year to that product, just like every year, until, you know, they get to where computers are now, to where it's pretty much the same thing every time it comes out. So
this light system that you have, it comes with a little remote, or is this ran off of your app on a phone, or it's just one color? Like, do you get to play with it, or?
Yeah, it's ran off the app on the phone.
Okay.
16 million colors that you can choose from, of hundreds of preset options. One of the best features is once we're done, we actually count all the lights. There's a page on the app where when you click on it, it shows you a bunch of circles. They all got numbers on it. You can click on light 47, and you can tell light 47 exactly what color to be. If you want it to blink, if you want it to flash, if you want it to be the bright white or the warm white. And, you know, Boso has a lot of features. We talked to them all, man. I researched them all. Very serious about our Google review page. And I knew you start bringing in a permanent light company that, you know, with the gutters, man, we can run to the gutter supply shop. I can buy the materials, drive back to the customer's house. I can install it on their house, and they're going to smile, right? When it comes to the lights, it takes a lot of trust for that other company you're bringing in, right? So we spoke to them all, and I believe in Boso. I think there's other good companies out there, but Boso is who we have partnered with. So,
what did you just call and set up a meeting with? You just reached out to all the different vendors?
Oh yeah, every single one of them, right? And, you know, Jellyfish makes you write a big old check. You know, most of them do, right? But I talked to them all and was stern with them. Told them, I was like, "You're not going to burn me, man. I mean, you know, if you're one of them people who's going to try to make a bunch of money and get out of this, we're probably not the best company for you, right? I'm looking for a supplier that's
partnered,
right? Yeah, man, wanting their name to be big 10, 15 years down the road, because they take care of their customers." So,
okay, that's what's up. I want to end this talking a little bit about your team. I know you guys are at 183 5-star reviews in 2 years. You guys really knocked that out of the park up there. Who are some of, I'm sure you have maybe some newer employees or some older ones, whoever you want to mention. Do you want to shout out any or all of your guys by name?
Man.
Who are the guys behind you right here? Tell us a little bit about some of these guys.
That's actually Brett, Trent, and me. That picture was taken
a bit ago, right?
Pretty early on, yeah.
Who's the one on the ladder directly behind you?
That's actually Jonathan, and I haven't talked to him in a while. He worked for us for about a year.
Okay.
And we would not be where we are without him. He was a great individual. But now our team is comprised, the San Antonio team is Eduardo and Hendrick. They've been with us for over a year.
Cool.
They recently just got raised. Eduardo made over $100,000 as my lead installer. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, baby, you know.
Bro, like, I'm going to tell you, we hit a bunch of goals this year, but that was the most satisfying, man, is you know, he's 26 years old. He speaks broken English. It's better English than it was when he started with me. I tell every customer that I expect him to speak to you. I want him to speak to you. I want him to do the full walkthrough with you. And I'm watching just growth out of him, man. It's been a big time blessing for me.
What's his name again? Eduardo?
Yeah.
I'm going to send Eduardo. We're going to send you some gear. So I'm going to get,
he would love that, brother.
I'm going to hook him up, brother.
That would be awesome.
I'm an installer, man. I'm an installer at heart. 20 plus years installing, 25 years of installing, and now 5.
You know what the grind is. So I did it for 6 months, man, and I got enough cuts on me to do it. So
you're good.
I also,
let's swag them up on us, man.
That's awesome, brother.
That's cool. All right. So you got, what about up north, Leander, Austin?
So we got a gentleman up there named William, who is, and I wasn't gonna bring it up too much, but we actually bought an epoxy floor company. And we get into epoxy garage floors. So there's a good chance he's about to be our president of that company, moving from installers to that. But that's what he's shown us in the last year, man. He's like, If we need a hand in San Antonio, he shows up in San Antonio. If we need him to run a crew in Austin, he runs a crew in Austin. The English is impeccable. The attention detail is impeccable. He will not leave a house unless it's done right. He is just bought into doing things the right way. So William is definitely one that needs to be recognized. He's awesome. So
there we go. All right. Good job, team. Let's wrap this up with what's your thoughts on the industry right now? Like, I know you don't spend a lot of time in the groups, and I want to start differentiating this year. Although there's a ton of big players and lots of new players that are on those groups. The largest group is 20,000 people. There's a 250,000, 300,000 people in the gutter industry, and in fact, some of the most successful businesses are not anywhere near those groups.
Right.
I find it funny because I know a lot of business owners that are really struggling, but they're on Facebook all day long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, gotcha. Like, dude, you should spend less time on Facebook. Yeah. But I know you don't spend a ton of time on there, but, I know you're paying attention to a lot of things. What's your kind of thoughts on the state of the gutter industry as a whole and like moving the direction it is with, everybody's being really helpful with each other, as well as like all the new products and just everything.
So, one thing that I've learned through them groups is, man, it's different everywhere. Right. And so for me to try to act like I've got some overview over the whole country would be silly. But for our area, right. Texas has been sheltered through a lot of the economic downturns through my lifetime. Right. The real bad one in 07, 08, 09, oil took off, and there was, 19 to 30-year-olds running around with $200,000 in their pocket working in the oil field, right?
Yeah.
So kept moving, right? And houses kept selling. And, here in Texas, because builders don't put them on, that is the business, right? Can you get the person that just signed their closing paper to believe that they need to install gutters on their home, right? Yeah. And I see so many roofs and so many houses that don't have
in that area.
And so many of their neighbors are having foundation repair company trucks parked out front and holes dug around their house. So I see a ton of promise. I love the groups, right? Obviously there are bad apples and people that, want to poke out their chest because they have a lot of knowledge. That ain't going to get you very far, right? I'm a big believer in, can you duplicate yourself? Can you help others? Yeah. It always comes back to you. You have, every time we've interacted, man, it's never been about what's in it for you, even close, right? Which
me?
Yeah, you, man.
Oh,
yeah, man. That says a lot about you, man. And
I appreciate that.
That is, that's more what the industry needs, right? Is, and honestly, if that's the person you are, then customers are going to want to do business with you too, right? But if you're the jerk that thinks you know everything, eventually that's going to burn out. So,
Chuck, man, I really, really hope that we get to see you at the Gutter Summit this year.
Man, we're going to make it happen, brother. I'm excited.
So we're going to, haven't announced it, but I'm just going to go ahead and we're already starting to poke that it's in New Orleans.
That's cool.
This year. It'll be in September, and you have one free ticket from me for your team as well.
Well, we're going to take advantage of that.
I know you are. Hold me accountable to that, man. We've been talking for a bit. So we got one on the house. We got some Gutter Girl swag coming to your boy, Eduardo. And, man, I'm grateful for your time today, man. I'm excited for what you guys are going to continue to do. I want to chat with you more about the epoxy flooring and hear some more about that.
Absolutely.
But, Happy New Year, man.
Yeah, I'll leave it on this since you brought it up. If you are in the gutter business and you have processes and you're not overwhelmed, if you can get in front of a person that buys a home, right? They just closed. Anything that has a 50% margin that doesn't require a license gets you in the door, right?
Gets you in the door.
You can tell them about gutters too. So
yeah, and then like what we are talking about, right? Everybody, it's okay to be an expert at one thing, right? But everybody learns something from someone else. No one just made up how to tie your shoe. We all watch the next person do it, right? So take knowledge and run with it, but make sure you're utilizing your leads are expensive today.
Oh yeah.
So whether you sold them some gutters over the past 5 years and now you're coming into, you can, as long as you have a good database, a CRM,
right?
You can re-message all those people your new services.
Absolutely.
By golly, there's a lot in that. We'll have to have another conversation about that, man. I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks for hopping on.
You too, brother.
Chuck,
Thanks for having me, brother.
Texas Gutter Solutions, man. We wish you guys the best.
All right, brother. Be blessed.